Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin. As of today, 774 Sunscribers to Suns Latest on FanArch. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I try to get to as many comments as I can every time we do one of these because of more subscribers and people communicating. I can't get to all of them, but I really appreciate it, and I'm really trying to do it. I just sometimes run out of time and have to get to the content. Quote of the day: all hockey players are bilingual. They know English and profanity. That's from Gordie Howe, Mr. Legendary hockey player for the Detroit Red Wings. I think that quote stands for itself. But I do like it when watching a live broadcast and somebody's mic'd up or near a mic and they say something that you're not supposed to say on television. And my favorite thing is watching the announcers try to go past it or acknowledge it. That's one of the pleasures of watching sports. Breaking news out of the NBA. I woke up this morning, I checked a couple of feeds, and I saw nothing but Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cavs player and assistant coach Damon Jones arrested as part of a pair of investigations related to illegal sport betting and rigged poker games backed by the mob, according to authorities. This was announced a week ago, made public, I guess, overnight, because I hadn't heard about it until this morning. Billups and Rozier have been placed on leave from their teams, the NBA said in a statement. Rozier, I think, riding the bench for Charlotte, but Chauncey Billups, head coach who just coached last night. It's weird. It's just weird to know that happened, and I freaking love Chauncey Billups. Total of 34 people were arrested as a result of a years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of bucks. Also, this just in, former NBA player Damon Jones, who I just mentioned, arrested. He allegedly disclosed information about a prominent player's injury situation, as far as this guy would play or not. And the prominent player was LeBron James. LeBron James, no wrongdoing, but this is the kind of information that they're being accused of giving out in the way of making bets. And this is a dangerous, dangerous thing that could be happening to the NBA. At the same time, betting is legal. So was it inevitable that this type of thing would happen? Yeah. I just think it's such a bummer that these people who make millions and millions and more money than they'll ever need can get caught up in something like this. But make no mistake, this is happening right now, and it's all alleged. Nothing is final. So hold your judgment. But we're going to keep following this. All right. So last night, Game 1 of the NBA season, the Suns versus the Kings at what's it called? Mortgage Matchup Center. I'm going to try to forget the name of it. But Suns win, coming from 20 down. They did this all preseason. They kept coming down to beat the Kings, 120 to 116. This is a typical opening night game where, yeah, the Stars played pretty well. The Kings were missing Sabonis and Keegan Murray in their starting lineup, but DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, who can always score, more than made up for it. Booker, game high 31 on 10 of 19, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I think that's going to be Booker's line for most of the year. I think he's going to be over 25 points per game, and he has been riding steady at around 5 rebounds and 5 assists when needed. He can facilitate even more. Brooks with 22 clutch free throws in the fourth, although he shot like crap from 3. He will get better. He's a decent 3-point shooter. Clutch free throws in the fourth. DeRozan shot well and had 29, but Brooks got in his grill in the fourth when it mattered. There's a whole highlight reel of just DeRozan and Brooks going at it and talking and talking and talking. It was really cool. Grayson Allen started technically as shooting guard, finished with 18. 10 rebounds for Ryan Dunn, who is improving every time I see him play. It's not just the play, it's how he's thinking about what he can contribute. Shooting, once again, Ryan Dunn shoots when he has an open look or when he goes to the rim. And that's it. And that is such an effective plus player. He is looking so good. His defense is incredible. Oso started at center, only played 19 minutes. It was a game-time decision not to start Mark Williams, but he did come off the bench, played 24 minutes, shot 3 out of 5, grabbed 11 rebounds, had a couple of swats, and clogged that lane. If Mark Williams and Oso and Malawach, who didn't even get in the game, if they can start doing this three-center rotation, that's pretty good for what we have, because we really do want to make sure that Mark Williams is healthy. So I know we're all tentative and we all just want a regular center, but the new NBA doesn't have to kill guys. That's why you get a bunch of guys who can sort of do the same things at different levels, and I think that's what Coach Ott is doing with our center position. Down by 17 at the half, cut it to 92-90. Entering the fourth, a Royce O'Neal three-pointer with 10:31 to go got the Suns the lead. So that's the entire fourth quarter that they had come back, but then they won the game. That says a lot about the grit and the hustle of this team. Shot 47% from the field. Not bad for opening night. A horrible 29% from three. A decent, but still could be better, 71% from the free throw line. Now consider preseason where we were like at 50% during the preseason early games. The Suns already improved their free throw shooting, so cut them some slack. They're going to get down there, get there. And once again, a lot of people don't believe that the Suns can be a defensive scheme team. A lot of people don't believe that the Suns can out-rebound teams. 51-37 rebounding advantage. To be fair, Sabonis, the NBA's leading rebounder for the last 3 seasons, wasn't playing. But 51-37 is pretty dominant. Even if he was playing, the Suns would have out-rebounded the Kings. And that is good news. Suns are at Clippers this Friday. I just wanted to say that the Clippers, predicted by ESPN to finish 5th in the West, lost their season opener to the Jazz by 21 points, 129-108. And I'm saying it now because I don't like how ESPN has degraded the Suns since the KD trade. Just absolutely dragged us. Keep dragging us. They said the Clippers will finish 5th. Listen to what I'm saying now. The Clippers will finish 8th or worse. Promise you that. And you thought the Suns had problems last year? Not one of their stars will play a full season except Zubats, and he is injury prone as well. Think of every guy that the Clippers are counting on this year. They all get injured. I don't have to say anything more about that. Let's get to your comments, and then we're going to get to the Suns Legend of the Day, Hustler Edition. Let's see. Mr. DeCasso, welcome back, sir. Let's see. Anyone else noticing the confidence boost that Nick Richards is gaining again around the rim? Monkey Touch, same, me. He looks different. He looks not as lost. He looks like Kevin Durant is not on the team, and he kind of knows what he's supposed to do now, and that he's actually getting coached by a guy, Coach Ott, who understands big men who focus on defense and rebounding. Drill Sergeant, no, I don't see any difference. Dustin, much happier with this roster than last year by far. The Energy Inhaler, you heard it here first. Suns are going to shock the world this year. Deep bench, superstar, height, length, 3-and-D shooting defense. Look out. I don't think we're going to shock the world, but I have maintained that we're going to be a lot better than people thought we were going to be. And I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that we're going to make the play-in. At Peter G. Nass, also Nigel Hayes-Davis dropped the only 50-point game in EuroLeague history. Even Luka has said how much easier it is to score in the NBA. Nigel Hayes-Davis didn't get a lot of minutes last night, not much of an impact. It's the first game. The Suns have to figure out a lot of rotation situations with the front court because we got a lot of people who can play in the front court. Rasheer Fleming did not even get in the game, and that's typical for a rookie on opening night. He had jitters in the opening game for preseason. So be patient. Be patient with this team, as I have also maintained. Hammer Don PHX, hello, sir. Cutting Jared Butler is just the latest genius move by the front office. Yeah, that one kind of stung, just when you think you found that diamond in the rough. I think some things just aren't going to always go our way, but I still am pretty happy that we kept Jordan Goodwin. I think he's just, with what Coach Ott wants to do regarding how we are going to play defense, I think it was the right move, and it seems like we have some pretty good offensive firepower. Steve Postero, love the show. Usually agree. I started to listen to every show, but has anybody brought up fourth quarter Frank? He's talking about Frank Johnson. He was only around for a year or two in the Barkley era. In fact, I remember that Charles was somehow involved in the transfer to the Suns. I met him once at Gilbert Elm School. He was very warm, shot hoops with the fourth graders for quite a while. I can't even remember his last name. Frank Johnson. Enjoy Alice Cooper. I did. Alice Cooper was great. Alice Cooper's lead guitarist is a beautiful, sexy girl. Nita Strauss. I went with like 4 of my high school buddies. We were like, who is she? Looked her up. Nita Strauss, phenomenal guitar player. Frank Johnson, great, really popular for a few years, and stick around. We are going to be talking about him. Frank Johnson will be the Suns Legend of the Day, Hustler Edition. Stephen Kachel. Stephen Hunter is actually a boys basketball coach at my kids' junior high. Thank you. I couldn't really find where former Sun and recent Legend of the Day, Hustler Edition, Stephen Hunter was at. So thank you. Seems like a very great guy. I remember being so sad he left, but was happy for him to get paid. Well deserved. Right on. Thank you for the info. New subscriber, new commenter, Backroads USA. New subscriber, longtime Suns fan since 1976. Welcome. Thank you for commenting. A friend of mine and I are arguing over who are the best 3 Suns point guards of all time. Oh, I never argue about who the best point guards were, do I? We both agree on Nash and Jason Kidd. Then we disagree on the third. I say Penny Hardaway. God, I keep forgetting he was a Sun. And he says, KJ, please settle this for us. We have a burrito on the line here. Ooh, burrito. And thanks for the channel. You're very welcome. Thank you for subscribing and commenting. Thank you for watching, too. I got KJ over Penny Hardaway, like, not even thinking about it. Penny was it on the Magic. In fact, before Penny got injured, he was the closest thing to Mike before Kobe came around. Penny was a 6'7", string bean, wiry, shooting guard, point guard. The ultimate combo guard. Probably, in my humble opinion, the greatest combo guard I ever saw. If you needed him to score 50, fine. If you needed him to get 16 to 20 assists, fine. Good defender, filled the lane, slow, fast. I love Penny Hardaway. God, watching him on the Magic, I was like, this guy's it. He was a first-team All-NBA player, and then he got injuries, and it robbed him of him being Penny. He was also a quiet, retiring type of guy. And I'm not going to say it was tragic. He was a superstar, and he had it all going for him. It's in the vein of Grant Hill. It's like, man, what could have been? And there's a lot of players like that. You're going to have players like that. But as far as while on the Suns, you know, Penny was a shell of himself. He was still effective. Him and J. Kidd made a pretty cool backcourt. But he wasn't an all-star. Kevin Johnson on the Suns was not only an all-star, multiple All-NBA, huge part of the 93 Finals team, a leader, and a total badass. As much as I loved having Penny on the Suns, who went on to play a couple of really good, solid years with the Knicks, KJ gets it over Penny. Chris Paul gets it over Penny as well, if you really want to go deep. Thank you. Drill Sergeant, the Suns will never be a defensive-minded team, never. I don't know. Coach Ott seems to have changed that mindset so far. Oh, hello, Drill Sergeant again. Every coach has preached that. Defensive philosophy is useless if you don't have good defensive players. Just saying. Who peed in your Cheerios? Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, Jordan Goodwin, Nick Richards, Man, Rasheer Fleming. Defensive players. There's argue, but those guys all play very good defense. What are you going to do about that? Jose De Leon, go Rams, 08 grad. Oh, Washington High School Rams. Oh, the guys that I went to the Cooper Judas pre-show last night, we all went to Washington High School in Glendale, on Glendale Avenue. That's excellent. An 08 grad from the Rams. Nice to hear from you. We bleed purple. We were purple and white. Okay, so moving on. Let's do the Suns Legend of the Day. Somebody mentioned it earlier. Hustler edition of Legend of the Day. Thought of by Nevetsov, Suns' latest subscriber and commenter, and listener. From Wake Forest, a 6'1", 185-pound point guard, born November 23rd, same birthday, in 1 month. Played from 81 to 94. He was a Sun from 92 to 94. An assistant coach from 97 to 02, and our head coach for almost 2 seasons, from 02 to December of 03. Western Conference Coach of the Month in 02-03 for December. Was Suns coach for just about 2. He was fired. It was just, the record isn't good. The Suns aren't doing well. There were rumors that he really clashed with some players in front office. Replaced by Mike D'Antoni. Frank Fourth Quarter Johnson. Surprisingly effective offensive player for the Suns. He was clutch. This guy was for the most part, he was a backup his whole career. He started a few games when KJ would get injured. He was signed to back up Kevin Johnson. He ended up starting games for the Suns, and he was really effective and tough and fiery. If you remember John Lucas, former #1 overall pick in the 1976 draft by the Houston Rockets, same type of bulldog type player. Not as sturdy, 6'1". Frank Johnson didn't look strong. Frank Johnson was very strong. He wasn't particularly fast for a guy his size, but he was fast enough. And he was clutch, and he could make a 3. And Charles Barkley looked for him offensively. I remember watching Frank play. I'm like, this guy's a gamer. This guy's a gym rat, but he's a gamer. And he thought the game through. He was a point guard. He was not a combo guard, but he could score. Not a lot of back down in Frank. He got into it with everybody. I saw there was a famous fight with him and Gerald Henderson. That's on YouTube. Frank's brother, Eddie Johnson, another great player, 2-time All-Star with the Hawks in the early 80s. Frank Johnson played 10 seasons in the NBA since with the Bullets, Rockets, and Suns. Most recently a Bucks assistant in 2018, and I have not heard or read anything about him since. But for a brief shining, I forgot he was our head coach. That's so cool. For a brief moment, Frank Johnson filled the role, and you need guys like that. Frank, Fourth Quarter Johnson, is your Suns Legend of the Day. Hustler edition. Suns play tomorrow night. Down the street from me. I'm going to see if I can make it to the game. I'm not making any promises, but they do play the Clippers tomorrow night. And the Clippers might be out for blood because they got spanked by the Jazz. And the Suns, at least for now, are that team that comes back and beat you in the fourth quarter, and I got no problem with that. Thank you for watching Suns Latest. Please subscribe. I am Rich Rubin. We're going to do this again tomorrow.